Yes, him Jimin and Kim Hoseok, Jack said. Jimin Yoongi uttered in shock. Do you know him? Jack asked. Yoongi thought a little and then uttered. No, I don't, Yoongi replied. Then why were you shocked? Jack inquired curiously. Leave it, Dumbo, and get well soon, Yoongi said. Yeah. Oh, Jack replied. And don't fight with Kim's again, Yoongi ordered. After seeing my own state, I will never fight with Kim's, Jack replied. Good, I'm going now, Yoongi said. Where are you going? Jack questioned. To my dorm, Yoongi replied. Aren't you living in your home? Jack asked. No, I can't live there, Yoongi replied. Why? Jack inquired. Because I have to work here as sensei. I can't go back, Yoongi replied. Don't you miss your family? Jack inquired curiously.
Obviously I do, but right now I can't go back, Yoongi replied. Well, your father built corporation and he wants you to be CEO, Jack said.
I know, but I don't want to be, Yoongi uttered. Why, bro? Jack asked. Because it's not my own hard work. I want to build corporation from my own hard work, Yoongi stated. I hope you'll achieve your dreams, Jack said. I already did, Yoongi said. How? Jack asked. It was my dream to be sensei, Yoongi replied proudly.
Then why you want to build corporation now? Jack asked. Because one day I've to marry and I can't let my husband or wife live poor life, Yoongi said.
You've great thinking. By the way, do you like someone? Jack asked. Suddenly, Hemin's face came in Yoongi's mind. No, I don't have any right now, Yoongi replied. You can get anyone. You've a great face, Jack said.
Face doesn't matter. Heart needs to be great, Yoongi said. Philosopher Yoongi, Jack said, being amazed. Dramatic as Yoongi said was so dumb-faced.
Meanwhile, in Kim's mansion, Minnie, what's wrong with you? Young Hoon asked. Nothing, Young Jimin replied. Stop lying, Minnie, Hoseok said. Nothing's wrong, Young Jimin said. Taeyoung made a done face and said. You are crying from past half hour, Minnie. And saying nothing's wrong, Taeyoung said. Who is crying? Namjoon said while entering the living room. He just came back from his work. You're back, honey, Jin said. Yeah, and who is crying? Namjoon asked. Minnie, Jin stated. Minnie, why are you crying? Namjoon inquired worriedly. Nothing, Young Jimin replied. Tell us, baby, Namjoon asked worriedly. Youngie Jimin said. Minnie, stop crying, baby, Jungkook said. At least tell us what's wrong, Minnie, Jin asked. Youngie, he dead, Jimin replied while crying. Who died? Hoseok asked worriedly. And my favorite character, Jimin replied while crying. Suddenly there was a pin drop silence in the room. Jimin looked at everyone and asked, What happened, Youngies? Jimin asked innocently. Seriously, you are asking what happened? Jungkook replied. Yeah. I asked what happened, Jimin said. Stupid, you made us all worried like how Jin said, did I? Jimin asked. Everyone nodded their heads. Minnie is sorry, Youngies, Jimin said. No one could resist his cuteness. Fine, but don't do it again, Dork, Jin said. I won't, Youngie, Jimin replied while flashing his eye smile. Your head hurts, kiddo, Namjoon asked. A little bit, Youngie, Jimin replied. It's because you cried. What about your hand, Hobie? Namjoon asked. It's all right, Young. It doesn't hurt, Hoseok said. Great. Take care of yourselves, kiddos, Namjoon said. They all sat there and starts to talk. Time skips to the next day. Let me introduce all characters again first. Kim Seok-jin, 30 years old, owns a cafe, husband of Kim Namjoon. The bottom one. Kim Namjoon, 29 years old, CEO of Kim Industries. Husband of Kim Seok-jin, the top one. Kim Young-hoon, 23 years old, studying K University. Husband of Kim Ho-seok, the bottom one. Kim Ho-seok, 29 years old, twin of Namjoon, a singer. Husband of Kim Young-hoon, the top one. Kim Tae-young, 23 years old, studying K University. Husband of Kim Jungkook, the bottom one. Kim Jungkook, 27 years old, university's professor. Husband of Kim Tae-young, the top one. Kim Jimin, 20 years old, student of high school. Baby for his hyungs but cold and scary for outsiders, sometimes flirty. Min Yoongi, 25 years old. Teacher at high school where Jimin studies, lives in his dorm alone. Let's continue. In the school. As usual, Yoongi was standing in the hallway checking the students, and everyone was wishing him good morning. Good morning, Sensei, Jimin said, while smiling. Good morning, kid, Yoongi replied, while smiling. He suddenly remembered Jack's words. Kim Ho-seok and Kim Jimin beat me, these words repeat in his mind. Sensei, are you all right? Jimin asked. Yes, kid, Yoongi replied. Why are you zoning out? Jimin asked. I couldn't sleep at night, maybe that's why, Yoongi replied. Sensei, you're old now. You should take rest, Jimin suggested. Old? Yoongi asked while raising his one eyebrow. Yeah, an old man. You looks like a grandpa, Jimin said innocently. I'm not that old. I'm still young, Yoongi said. Old man will never believe he is old, Jimin said. Will you believe if I'll say you're so damn pretty, Yoongi uttered in his deep voice. Jimin got shivered listening to it. What are you saying, Sensei? Don't flirt with your students, Jimin said. Without waiting for Yoongi's reply, he rushed from there. Yoongi chuckled seeing Jimin run away. Meanwhile, Jimin came to his class. Hey, Jimin, Chanyeol said while approaching him. Jimin cursed under his breath, seeing Chanyeol. I've to bear this moron again, Jimin mumbled. What? Jimin asked. Baekhyun is absent today. Can I sit with you? Chanyeol said.
Jimin was about to reply when Yoongi came inside. Everyone greeted him and sit back. Chanyeol also took chance and sit beside Jimin.
Yoongi noticed Jimin's annoyed face. And Chanyeol sitting beside him, he said. Kim, Jimin, Yoongi said yes, Sensei, Jimin replied. Where's Baekhyun? Yoongi asked. He is absent today, Sensei. He have fever, Jimin replied. All right, sit, Yoongi said. Jimin sit back on his seat when Yoongi said. Mr. Chanyeol, Yoongi said. Chanyeol got up and said. Yes, Sensei, Chanyeol uttered. Why are you sitting here? Yoongi asked. Jimin was alone, so I thought to accompany him, Chanyeol replied. Your seats are fixed, right? Yoongi asked to class president. Yes, Sensei. We can't change our seat without your permission, President said. Mr. Chanyeol. Why you change your seat? Yoongi asked coldly. Chanyeol couldn't reply cause he don't have any answer now. Mr. Chanyeol, go back to your seat, Yoongi ordered coldly. Sorry, Sensei, Chanyeol said. He took his bag and went back to his seat. While Jimin smirked in satisfaction, Yoongi starts to teach the class. That's when someone knocked. It was student who make announcement. I forget what we call them. Sensei, can I come in? That student asked. Yes, Yoongi said. Hello, students. I'm here to make an announcement, that student said. Our school is going for camping, that student announced. Everyone makes noise in excitement.
We will go on day after tomorrow and come back in the morning, that student said. Everyone have to go. It's compulsory, that student said.
You'll go? Someone asked from Jimin, obviously sweetie. It's compulsory, Jimin replied. That girl's heart fluttered listening to the word sweetie. To be continue.